Our first panelist is Ryan Staples. Ryan is currently a D1 at UConn, and he's also an active duty in the Navy's HSCP program. He's held national, district, and local level positions within ASDA. Prior to dental school, Ryan worked for 5 years in sales and management and ultimately decided to go back to school to pursue dentistry. He grew up in Maine, and he also lived in New Hampshire for 6 years after college, with 1 year he spent in California. He currently lives in Hartford, Connecticut with his fiancee Hillary and their 2 cats. I'm going to turn this over to Ryan now.
Hey, can you guys see what I've got on my screen right now? Brian, maybe you could. All right.
Looks good, Ryan.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks for the introduction, Brian. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's really not much more to say about me. Brian pretty much told you everything about me. So I've got here a little bit of a presentation that I think, this is what I kind of went through when I was deciding on where I wanted to go to dental school, and these are the things that I think you should take into consideration when you're choosing a dental school. So with that, we'll get right to it. So this first slide is really for anybody out there who may be watching, who maybe hasn't actually applied yet, and I'm sure that there are some of you guys out there. So first of all, you want to make sure that you have options. When you want to be able to make sure that you can choose. You don't want to be stuck going to a place because that's the only place that you got into. So with that, you obviously want to take care of your grades first and foremost. I think that's pretty much obvious, but I want to put that in there. You also want to do meaningful extracurricular activities. I've talked to a lot of admissions advisors, and the one thing that they mention is the number of extracurriculars is not as important as it is, are you very involved with that extracurricular, or is it something that you only do, once every 2 months or 3 months? You want it to be something that you're really involved with and that you're actually passionate about. And then, of course, you want to have some dental shadowing opportunities. And then if you can, I put here in parentheses, CT Mom for a volunteering opportunity. That's something that we actually have here locally in Connecticut, and it's essentially free dental care twice a year to thousands of different patients, and anybody can sign up to be a volunteer. And I would encourage you to look around in your local communities, see if you can find something similar, because I think you might be surprised that there probably are some things out there. And then in the interview stage, that was of course in the pre-interview stage, and then in the interview stage, you want to know the school, you want to do some research on the front end and make sure you know when you get the chance to talk to, the advisors and the admissions advisors at those schools when you get an interview, you want to know about their school and be able to talk educatedly about that. You want to practice your interviews, and then you also want to network. When I was applying to dental school, this is something that really helped me. I was super involved with ASDA, and as a result of that, I could ask a number of people across the country, at a number of different schools, all the questions that I didn't dare to ask an admissions advisor, or I was able to get firsthand perspectives from a variety of schools. So I would strongly encourage you to get involved and try to network as best you can. Okay, so the next slide. First of all, you need to understand that you shouldn't take the decision too heavily. You can't make a bad choice. You're going to get your DMD or your DDS. All the paths are leading there, and honestly, it's not worth stressing out about. You're going to go to a great school, and you're going to make your experience what you make of it. So your school, of course, it impacts what your experience is, but for the most part, you are the person who's actually going to make that experience. So for those of you who are really stressing out, first thing, just cool it. Chill out. You're going to make a good choice. You're going to get your DMD or DDS. You're going to be fine. So of course, there's a lot to consider when you're choosing a dental school, and I've listed some of the things that I took into consideration, and some of the things that I'm sure you guys will be considering as well. And then I also put some things that you really shouldn't take into consideration, in my opinion. And of course, this is all based on my opinion, but so the things that you really should consider: school reputation. That definitely matters, and I'm going to go into a little bit more about that later on. Location, the cost of the education, what type of curriculum it is, and I'm going to talk more about these all a little bit later. You want to know, and you want to know if you want to specialize, do you want to go to a school that has that specialty or not? And then you also, when you go visit these schools, you want to see if you get a certain feel. Does it feel like a place you could spend 4 years? Because the reality is you're going to spend a lot of time there, and you're going to spend a lot of time with the people. So you want to make sure that it feels right. And then these are some things that I think people generally take into consideration that I think you really shouldn't. I don't think you should try to go to a place that you already know a lot of people at. I think part of the adventure of going to dental school is meeting new people and developing new experiences. And honestly, if you go somewhere where you don't know a single person, I think that actually benefits you. So I don't think that should weigh heavily into your decision. Also, don't take into consideration whether it's DMD or DDS. Maybe you already know this, but they're the exact same thing. It truly doesn't matter what the degree is. You're a dentist. So